Hey guys, so I'm gonna share a little story. I actually started recording it a few minutes ago, but then I realized I did not press the record button. I'm gonna tell you a little story about how I ended up in a wheelchair for 3 months without any end in sight, and how I had to have surgery while I was awake and aware of everything that was going on. And I was having surgery in a doctor's office with a doctor and his two middle school kids are the ones who operated on me. Fun, right? My Lyme started when I was much younger, early 20s. It started eating away at all the collagen in my feet. My feet became flat. And it was so bad to the point where it didn't matter if I was wearing orthotics, sneakers, it was constantly pulling on my knee. And it just got so bad that I was like, I have to do something. I can't, I couldn't wear any shoes. I had to wear high tops so that they would, kind of hold my ankles in place. So through my research, well, first the doctor said that he wanted to do reconstructive foot surgery. And without knowing why this was happening or anything like that. And I already had surgery in my hands and it wasn't successful. And so I'm like, I really don't want you cutting and messing with the structure of my foot. Maybe there's a better way. So I found this implant called Hypocure, and it basically goes into the bones in your feet and allows them not to be flat anymore. And there's no screws, there's no anything like that. It's just literally placed in. So if you ever needed them out later on, they could take them out. So I thought this was a great idea. So, of course, none of this was covered by insurance. It was over $10,000 to have this 2-minute surgery. And so I had it and it was a success and I was able to walk. I was great for like 9 years. Then fast forward 9 years, my Lyme disease started to progress again. And all of a sudden I was at work one day, as a teacher in the classroom, and all of a sudden I couldn't stand. It was like I was standing on like a balancing thing. Like I was wobbly, and I pretty quickly figured out, crap, these implants in my ankles are loose and I can't walk. So I had to figure out what was going on. I saw a surgeon, my local surgeon, and he said, it's definitely the implant, and you need to have them out. I did not like that because I didn't want to go back to the dysfunction and the disability of not having, strong ankles. So anyway, I finally was like, okay, he's probably right. I need these out. So twice I had the surgery scheduled and twice they canceled on me the day before the surgery. The second time it was because they did not have the tool to take it out. And apparently the tool is specific to that implant. And so I was like, okay, I'm so over this. I was already in the wheelchair for like 2 months, going to work every day in a wheelchair. It was very difficult to navigate, get around, and I had no idea when I was going to be able to not be in a wheelchair anymore. So I decided, okay, I'm going to find a doctor around here that does this implant, because surely they will have the tool to get the implant out. So I did some research. I found a doctor 2 hours away that did it. I went and saw him first, and he gaslit me the whole time, told me the implants were absolutely not loose. He did an x-ray. He said, they look great. I don't know why you would take them out. I said, I'm in a wheelchair. I can't walk. And he told me, it's not the implants. You probably are about to be diagnosed with diabetes, and that's why your legs are burning. And I said, I just had my blood work done, and my blood sugar was fine. And he goes, yeah, but that's just because it hasn't shown up yet. It's going to happen. That's why I would not take them out. But I didn't have much choice at the time. And so I was like, I'm going to get these things out. And so because of my Lyme disease, I have abnormal EKGs. I've had the Holter monitor. I've done all that stuff before, but it doesn't matter. So anyway, I was going to have the surgery, but because of my abnormal EKGs, the surgery center wouldn't let me unless I was cleared by a cardiologist. It wasn't even the surgery center. It was my GP, my regular doctor. And he said, no, you need to see a cardiologist. I'm not signing you off, even though this has been the case for me for years and they knew it and it didn't matter. So I was stuck in the wheelchair. In Southwest Florida where I live, the quickest appointment I could get to a cardiologist was like 6 months out. So you want me to sit in a wheelchair for 6 more months? Yeah, that's what they wanted me. Sorry. Yeah, that's what they wanted me to do. I did not like that. So I was able to do something with the guy that was going to take the implants out of my ankles. And he said, okay, I do a special thing for people who can't afford the surgery center. He's like, I can take them out for you in office. He said, but you'll be awake the whole time. But I can get them out and I'm only going to charge you $1,500. And of course, no insurance, I had to pay all this out of pocket. So I went the day before my birthday, in 2021, I think it was. And the doctor and his 2 middle school children in his office are the ones who removed the implants while I was awake the whole time. So I felt them cutting me open. I felt them pulling the implants out. I felt everything. I didn't have pain because he did numb the area and I did have like laughing gas. But I could feel every single thing they were doing to me. So I am grateful that the doctor did that because once those were removed, I was stable somewhat again. But that's my story of the weirdest surgery that I've ever had, by, 2 12-year-olds and, a doctor. So suffice to say, again, trust yourself. Don't trust the doctors, because they don't always know what they're talking about. Thanks.